Hey, Warren, how you doing? It's Alex coming at you once again from Southern California. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a great holiday season and a New Year. So yeah, look forward to doing videos here in 2020. I just got back from Chicago a few days ago. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do any digging. I didn't get to go to the city, so I didn't get to go to a Dusty Groove or any of the great stores downtown. But my wife's family is from Rockford, Illinois, which is about an hour away from Chicago. We have a couple stores, and so yeah, decided to had about maybe 30 minutes to spend at one of them. I decided to go to this one. I'd been there before. It's called Culture Shock. About half of the business is gifts and clothing and stuff like that, and the other half is all records. No CDs. It's all vinyl. I like it because they have a pretty good mix of used. I would say primarily used, maybe 60% used and 40% new and reissue. So it's a pretty decent mix. Prices are not bad either. Maybe slightly on the high side considering it's a smaller city, but nevertheless, so they have a box that just says like rare collectible things, um, which they do have some pretty decent things, and I was pretty stunned to find a couple of records on Black Jazz, which is a label that has eluded me for a long time. Even though it's a label that was founded in LA, and I believe most of these records were recorded in Los Angeles. Of course, founded by label founded by Gene Russell. I just don't see them a whole lot um, at all, and I was pretty surprised to find not just one but two. The second being this one, um, probably one of the more sought after records on the label. Skipper, Henry Franklin, the outstanding bass player. So he had a pretty good price on him, and actually I offered him. Uh, I made him an offer for both of them, and he accepted. There's not a whole lot of jazz collectors in that area, so I think he was happy to send them to a new home. So yeah, I was familiar with this one just from streaming bits and pieces online. Obviously, it's a fairly famous record in the jazz world, and I think what I didn't expect is for this record to sound as good as it does. But yeah, my understanding just from reading a little bit more about the label is that they specifically it was their intention to make sure that the recordings were of the highest quality, and it definitely shows, and it was really an incredible listen. In particular, the two opening tracks on each side, the 10-minute Outbreak and on side 2, Beauty and the Electric Tub. An incredible piece. The other reason that I just could not leave these behind is because they're both in immaculate condition. And this record it's definitely near mint. Um, and for the price and rarity of the record, it just had to take it. Um, the other record by Rudolph Johnson, saxophone player, is what's playing in the background right now. Um, Only spun this a couple of times so far. It's an enjoyable listen. So yeah, there's some parts here that like you can hear it's a little bit more on the free side. Most of the first side is a little bit more straight ahead, maybe the post bop, kind of LA sound. And again, you know, excellent production on these recordings. Really nice. This one has some players I'm not too familiar with. Kent Brinkley on bass, Douglas Sides on drums, Kirk Lightsey on piano, and Rudolph Johnson on tenor and arrangements. So yeah, really happy to bring these back to kind of their origin area. Players on this one, of course, Henry Franklin on Fender and upright bass, Bill Henderson electric piano, Mike Carvin on drums, Oscar Brashear on trumpet and flugelhorn, Charles Owens on tenor and soprano saxes, Kenny Climax on guitar and electric tub. I'll have to read about that. I'm not entirely sure what the electric tub configuration is, but anyway, so yeah, really happy to pick those up. And then the third record I picked up at Culture Shock was this one, originally put out on Stax in I believe 1973. I can't remember where I found out about this record. I think it might have been when it got reissued a few years ago. And yeah, I was listening to it a ton online, and I just kind of forgot about it. And so I saw this reissue, you know, very inexpensive, and jumped on it. The originals are pretty expensive and rare. So what this is well, it's called the group is the 24 Karat Black, and the record is Ghetto Misfortunes Wealth, again from 1973. It's a big ensemble with strings and some wind instruments, and then a bunch of you know, your typical more traditional instruments like saxes and bass, piano, trumpets, and so on. Incredible vocals. So I mean, it's a soul record at its heart, political, very much socially conscious, just beautiful. And there's just the arrangements are yeah, they're just really mesmerizing. They really bring you to a certain mood, you know, that is, I think, very purposeful, and very appropriate, you know, for the themes that you know, that are discussed in the record. So yeah, I definitely will be needing this one to get through 2020. I think it's definitely, like I said, really cheap reissues out there. I really don't think I've seen anyone show it in the BC, but I'm sure somebody has. So anyway, so that was 3 killer records I got from Culture Shock in Rockford, Illinois. Yeah, if you're ever in that area, I would not hesitate to stop in. Didn't get any footage there. I was pretty much in a hurry. I did talk to the owner a little bit. Really nice guy. So yeah, we'll look forward to going back there probably next year. And then I went to Record Wonderland again, as I did last year. Logo. So Record Wonderland is in Roselle, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Outside of kind of a crappy half-price books near my parents' house, it's really the nearest real record store to my parents' house, which is where I stay when I go to visit for the holidays. So I took a drive over there with my dad. He had a few things to trade in. Yeah, they always, it's a really, really well organized store, really well curated. Um, uh, yeah, tons of nice records on the walls. I did get a bunch of footage, so yeah, stick around for that. Um, just so you get an idea of kind of what they have. First thing I saw as soon as I came in on the wall was this record, Faust, self-titled from I believe 1971. But to my surprise, this was actually an original first pressing, German first pressing on Polydor. It's got these really cool silver labels. I don't know if that discoloration is. I'm assuming that's not meant to be there, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, you can kind of see some foxing there on the label, but because of the color, it doesn't really look too bad. But yeah, very, very nice. Very happy to find that. I used to have a UK repress that sounded really, really crappy. This one even has a little bit of like a Coke bottle swirl color in it. Very nice. Had the guy play it in the at the store. It really sounded pretty damn good. They had it as a VG copy. I think that's a pretty conservative grade. So yeah, did not expect to see an original German pressing, in Chicago. But there you go. Happy to add that to the Faust collection. And then the other one that I found, and I did there was a ton of jazz there, and a lot of Blue Notes from the 70s that I've been looking for a while, but I had to leave them behind. Obviously, that Faust record was not it's not a cheap one. And then towards the end of the dig, I found this one in the bins. It said 1969 pressing, which I took to mean that it was like a later pressing, but pretty sure 1969 is the original release, and it's on that on the 2i Columbia Masterworks label. Really, really, really clean record too. Pretty decent price on it. Just a record I do not see very often. I haven't seen it, I think, at all in 5 years that I've been out here in California. So yeah, really, really happy to finally snag Moondogs self-titled here. So yeah, those are the 5 LPs that I grabbed in Chicago. Really, wanted to, just grab things that I was not going to find very easily anywhere else. Yeah, really enjoying everybody's year-end videos. Seems like there's a ton of new videos that have popped up over the last week or so I got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, looking forward to 2020 in the VC. Take care, guys. Oh, and stick around for some footage from Record Wonderland in Roselle, Illinois, which, as I mentioned before, that's where Chris Cole works typically like once a week. Unfortunately, he was there on a Sunday, and I think he's there on Saturdays, so unable to meet up with him, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Take care, Chris. Bye, guys.
Alright, so if you could just do me one favor, print your name legibly right here and sign by the red X.
Year 41.
Yes.